What's up, guys? It's a part 2 of how to scream. I taught y'all in my first video a little bit of how to do fries, and in the first part I mentioned that there's two kinds of screaming. There's false chord and there's fries. So in this one I'm going to try to teach you a little bit about false chord. Now, false chord is, for me, it was really simple to learn, but everyone learns at a different pace, of course. I mean, that's life. It's really hard to explain how to do it, but it's really simple to grasp. The bad thing about false chord is it's really easy to hurt your voice with false chord. It's not as easy to hurt your voice with fry. So if you really want to do false chords, but understand you might hurt your voice even if you're doing it completely right. Now, a lot of people say you're not going to hurt yourself if you're doing it right. That's not necessarily true, because you might do it too much in a certain day and then it'll start to hurt your voice, or you might not drink enough water or do enough of what you should be doing to keep your voice healthy. So just be aware that it's not like terrible on your voice, but it's a little bit more hard on your voice than fry is. So keep that in mind, okay? The way I learned is basically I would listen to a song and like just
if you wanna get up, you need a little revive.
I think that he used false chords for like his growls. I'm not quite sure, but it sounds like it and it fits really well. So what you want to do for false chords is just kind of grunt, like a and you'll feel this little grind, like you hear that grind, the sounds really weird. It sounds like a machine almost. Once you get that down, you're gonna want to force that a little bit more, so it'll sound like okay. So get that down, get your voice behind that grind, and then you're going to force that even more, and it'll start to sound like ooh. Then you force that even more, and it'll sound even louder, like ooh. Like that. It's basically like a grunt, like a really angry, like you know how somebody will do something stupid, or somebody will piss you off, and you'll just be like It's literally exactly like that, just forced more. Now, I'm not very good at false chord highs. I don't really use false chord highs, but it's the same kind of concept. You just take it higher in your voice. You just use your voice to go higher. I only usually like to do false chord lows, but I mean, it's really all the same concept. It's just a different pitch. So what you want to do is, just like the other video I put up, learn how to put your voice behind it. So you want to first learn how to do the kind of noise, because that's basically your false chords grinding together, making that kind of sound. And then after that, you want to start kind of making that grind a little bit faster, making it like sped up a little bit, and then it'll start to kind of like overdrive itself. It'll like over distort it, and that's what you want. So you'll go from to and that's when it starts to get distorted. Then when you like force more voice, it'll start sounding really brutal, and it'll start sounding like, I don't know, like it'll just take on a whole nother tone, like that. The best thing I could recommend for you to learn is drink a lot of water when you're learning, at least. Later on, you might not need to do that because it does dry you out a little bit. Sometimes you might even have to spit. I know a lot of screamers live that do false chord or even fry, they like gargle their spit a little bit too much, and then they end up spitting up on stage or even in the crowd. I saw Underoath not too long ago, and they did that. Ooh, please excuse me. But yeah, basically do that. And like I said in the other one, of course the stupid diaphragm comes into play. It comes into play with everything that has to do with vocals. So learn how to use your diaphragm. I'm not going to go into complete detail about that because that's for another long story, and I don't like tutorials on how to use your diaphragm. It's really annoying. Yeah. So learn how to do the noise. It's just kind of like grunting, but you take it to a higher place. Like learn how to do the grind. Speed the grind up. Then put more voice behind it. And that's basically it. If I missed anything, I'll try to help you guys out. And if I start using false chord highs more, I'll do a tutorial on how to do those, because maybe it'll be easier for someone. Maybe if you're like a girl trying to learn this, maybe it'll sound, better for you. It'll be easier for you to match the pitch. But I think, at least when I do it, even though it might not sound very great when I do my highs, because I haven't practiced them, I feel like it's the same exact method that I use when I'm doing my lows. I just make my voice go to a higher pitch, and that's really it. So yeah, I hope you like this video. If I didn't cover anything, comment it. Tell me if you need help. I always reply to my comments. Yeah, please subscribe to my YouTube channel so you can see more videos like this if you want. I mean, if you want. If you don't want to, that's cool. And if you want to like the video, that would be great. Just smack that like button in the booty. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time, and I hope this helped. Bye-bye.